Good day and welcome back to my channel. So this is the next phase, which is the tail. I'm working on getting the tail lit. Now what I've done, like I said, is this was recast in a translucent plastic resin like this, right? And there are several coats of primer and paint over the top to light block. Now I did end up having to pretty much go over every surface with plastic putty, Vallejo's plastic putty, just because all the surface imperfections, the paint wouldn't actually block. So, it ended up not working. So what I've done is I've taped over each of these spots where I want the light to show through. And then I've prepped the lighting unit that will then slide in here. So what I did is I drilled out a little hole at the base of each one of these, and then this will go in to each one of those, and it will be, along this light path. This part, I'm actually going to let that light up, but I'm going to let the ambient light from this, and I'm also going to put two soft white bulbs just hanging out here in space to help throw a different glow to give that a different tone. And that's on purpose. Now, my wiring and my soldering is terrible, but is what it is. So I put each of these in, essentially I put all these up in parallel. And so what I've got them to do is, let me switch up my hand so I can actually do this here. So I will have pretty much one wire coming out of the tail that will connect to these guys. And for some reason, that one, there's a connection right there that's off. I got to go back and redo that, but there we go. So that's what I've got. So these guys will live in there, and they will put the glow inside here. Then I will run a single wire out, basically hook up one more wire to come out from these guys to go up through the tail. So this thing gets affixed to this. The wire comes out from, this gets affixed to this. Seal that up. This piece will go in there, and then that's what's going to hold all this together. Like I said, there will be one wire coming out that will light that up. I'm contemplating like drilling a hole here and dropping a light in each one of those. I might try one just to see what it looks like. If I don't like the way it looks, then I won't. Because if it looks okay, then what I may do is close those up, cover those off with tape, paint them up, and then just let that work. So it'll be similar to the light, the intentional glow through I have for the engines. Just to do that, we'll see. But yeah, we're getting close to where this is going to be done. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to mount this into here, and I'm going to have to fiddle. And I'm really terrible about fiddling with a camera in front of me. So let me take care of that, and then I will be back once I've gotten that in place, and we see what that looks like. All right. So hold on, I'll be back. Okay, so now we've got the lights installed. They didn't quite go in as nicely as I would have liked, but they work. And if I spin this guy around to where I see the one that I have open, there we go. And then click this bad boy in here. Try to anyway. It would probably help if I made things easier, but that's not my style. So there. So that's what I'm going to get. They're going to light up. And then I did decide to go with this. And this will light up this ring once I find there we go. And because they're actually positional, they need to be in the right spot. So with that, let me take this guy. Come on. And these guys give a nice yellow glow. If I can do this so that you guys can see that. There we go. Come on, fingers. Here we go. And that's the glow we're going to get from there. So what I can do, or what I will do, is I'll mask this part off and dry brush the surface of those, and then just, give everything the surface paint. This is going to get dropped on or dropped into here. I did have to create this little gasket because of where these go, but I am not too terribly upset about that part anyway. That will then put that, come on. Yeah, I need to go through and make sure that all those solder is good, but put this in here, seal this up, and then we are good to go with running the wires and getting this ready to paint and get prepped. So essentially what I'm going to do is take these three pieces, assemble all these together, do all the painting and detailing of all that as separate pieces there. Then we'll finish up the rest of Serenity as a separate piece. So essentially going to be three parts. There's going to be the tail, there's going to be this thing, and then there will be the main body. So each of these can be done in separate pieces, and then we can wire everything together and go from there. So as I'm thinking about it, in order to finish wiring up the tail and hooking it up to the body, I may want to see about doing a majority of that stuff before I put it on, just so that I can get at it and do the detailing. But I have to finish the wiring before I can put the body together, because that will, because in order to do that, then I have to put the cargo bay bottom part on, and the landing gear housings and all that. So that all has to be done after all the wiring is complete. So I'm still need to figure out how the order of how I'm going to be doing that to make that work. But there we go. That's the tail, and how that's all going to go together. At least the lighting for that's going to go together. I expect in my next video we'll be looking at a little more of a complete assembly there and where we're going next. But that's the tail lighting and how I'm gonna attack it. Again, I hope this is useful for folks that are looking at a project that's requiring some modifications and playing around. And otherwise, I'll say, until next time, happy modeling.